Really amazing. I don't think most people know this, you know. I've just kind of like, this is just kind of figured out and fallen into place. Actually, that the Jeff buys cars and that McMaster guy do videos quite often. I don't watch all of them, but I kind of like keep checking up on kind of what they're up to, basically what they're doing. But they're basically driving around in their cars. But the McMaster did a picture on the front of one of his videos the other day, kind of shortly after that I'd done the all of the work on the ULEZ ULEZ zones. London's not meant to have any tolls because it's a Liberty of London, but the Liberty of London is supposed to originate from these ancient roads that were even there before Roman roads. This Ermine Street, which basically goes up from London up to York, Eberacum, and then there's a Watling Street, which is really probably the main road, but it was there before the Romans. But it goes from pretty much from Dover all the way through straight through London, and then up to Shrewsbury, which was Roxeter, right? But that's on the border of Wales. And then there's the Fosse Way. The Fosse Way goes from Exeter up to Lincoln and meets up with the other one that I just showed you, the Ermine Street. But they both cross over each other though. The Fosse Way and the Watling Street both cross paths. When it goes from Cirencester to Leicester, so they both cross paths. Probably we cross paths in the Midlands somewhere. Probably somewhere around Birmingham. I would have thought that is then. Oh no, so Leicester, Gloucester. Now the thing is, anyway. So now I done this ages ago. I did this like years ago. I just thought that the Scottish flag basically looks cool. So like when I just like did like BentCup.biz logo, didn't really mean anything in it. I just like I'm not the greatest fan of the St George's flag. I just don't think that it looks that decent. I mean, obviously football people like it. I mean, they paint their faces with it and so forth. But I was just like I just ended up like I just thought like did the St Andrew's flag on because it looked different. Just like just sort of, and then I just thought I made a sticker with it. I got some stickers printed with like sterling silver for Scotland on one side, and on the other side it's like white instead of sterling silver. It was just I was just messing around really. I'm not like doing it seriously or anything. I was just designed a logo. I just thought that looks interesting with like the flag, but it goes across like that. Now I didn't know at that time. So I learned recently because of the Liberty of London, because these roads, right, go the Watling Street goes straight through London, right? But these roads are supposed to be part of this legend, this myth from the laws of Edward Confessor and in the Great Liberties and so forth. There are many types of the King's Peace. One is given by his hand, which the English called King's Hand Salde Grid. Another is given on the day on which he is first crowned. This one lasts for 8 days at Christmas, 8 days at Easter, and 8 days at Pentecost. I don't know if these are like holidays or whatever. Another is given by his writ. another which the four roads have. It's almost like petitioning or getting an order, basically. So the four roads have this piece on Watling Street, Fosse Way, Icknield Way, and Ermine Street. Well, Icknield Way is more of a shorter one, but Watling Street is quite well known for a Roman road and Fosse Way, and Ermine Street goes up to York, Eberacum. Now, it's called they call it the King's Hand Salde grid. Well, a grid, people use a grid when they have like a map reference point or grid, because they call it like the Ordnance Survey is a grid, isn't it, right? But it's called the King's Hand Salde grid. Now, when you type that in, King's Hand Salde grid, there isn't that many results in Google for it. It's not like there are thousands and thousands of pages or hundreds. There are very few references to the King's Hand Salde grid, right? King's Hand Salde grid. Now, I only learned that maybe a week or two ago, right? Or maybe possibly 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've only learned it within the last month, right? Particularly because of the fines going through London and because of the Magna Carta. Because Magna Carta says that London shall have all its ancient liberties. Well, I've been learning about that, right? Now, this is the crazy thing, right? The crazy thing is, when you draw them on the map, right, those roads like this, so they make the cross shape. I haven't drawn the other road because it's only a little short. That's a shorter road. It's only like a Cambridge. It's like a sort of Luton-y sort of Cambridge Bedford kind of route. That other one, but these are the main ones. Now, this is absolutely crazy, and I mean, people know this. There's no doubt. I mean, this is not. I haven't made like a new discovery. This is like there are people that know this, right? But I've not. I didn't know it, and I've never heard anyone mention it. But there are people out there who know this, right? Like historians. I think Charles will know the royal family, and all these like heraldry, all these branches of who tweeds the king's trousers nose, and who plates the royal jewels. All these servants of the crown. The palace servant, all these, committee members, so, but I've only just learned this. So, ironically, when you look at the street, this Ermine Street, which goes up to Eberacum, York, right, straight up, it's basically the A1, right? That Ermine Street is effectively the A1, which is a beautiful road because it's kind of old-fashioned and, it's kind of like vintage sort of service station. If some people don't like the A1, they say that it's all kind of a little bit desolate, but it's very countryside and preserved. It's one of the most well-preserved period roads out of all of them, except on the new sections, really. But, I'm familiar with that road because I've travelled it all my whole life. So, but obviously it goes all the way up to, Berwick-on-Tweed in Edinburgh. But it's known for Ermine Street is basically known from London to Eberacum, right, to York. Now, when you put them out like this, it looks like the flagpole. It literally looks like the flag post, and then with the flag. The cross on the flag, but not the straight, not the the red cross on the white background. The St. George. That's called St. George's Cross, isn't it? Right? But it looks like the St. Andrew's flag, but also the Irish one was red cross on the white background, but the other way around, right? But that's meant to be for well, it'll tell you in a minute if I think it's St. Patrick, but one of the saints, right? So, well, I can tell you in like half a second because I just press my finger and just tell you, but I'm gonna wait. I think it's St. Patrick anyway, but if I'm wrong, well, we'll find out in a second. So, but anyway, now this is a crazy thing, right? I think I'm making this video. I'm gonna tag Cambrian Chronicles, because he did an entire video on the on the Welsh flag, basically, right? He did a entire video on the Welsh flag and tracing it all the way back, and so that it actually English kings used to use that flag, right? English kings for a period used that flag before it was adopted by Wales, like going way back. But this is before even the St. George's flag, right? Now, this is the ironic thing. On this map, I think Cambrian Chronicles has got, it must, I mean, if he doesn't like this video, then I don't know what he does like, because this is like, for me, this is like a major light bulb moment. I mean, I really enjoyed the video that he did about the Welsh flag, and I can't remember what, there was a special name for it anyway that they worked out. But this is like, I'm basically doing this to combine with what he was working on and doing, right? So, the Fosse Way starts at Exeter and then goes all the way up to Lincoln, right? Now, the Fosse Way starting at Exeter, that where Exeter is, apparently the Romans didn't really do too well in Cornwall. They didn't properly officially get into Cornwall properly, even though it had lots of tin mines. It was all well defended down the south coast. It's one of the places that retains, like Wales retains the Welsh. There's Cornish language and there's a Scottish language as well as Irish. I'd have thought the Romans would have been well in with them with the tin mines, because that's where the whole point of the Romans come over for resources. But I don't know if it was really, really well defended and protected or what, or if they had sort of deals going on. But anyway, so this is the crazy thing. So Exeter, right? Exeter is where, very, 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 very close to where that huge hill fort is, that is the dragon. It's actually the shape of a giant, massive dragon, or some say snake, but it's winged. Like it's like the hill fort is on the head of the dragon, like as if you're riding the dragon on the head, right? And that hill fort is so big, like for the whole, like the size of the kind of like entire dragon shape. Dwarf basically makes Maiden Castle, which is absolutely massive, huge hill fort, look like tiny, like a dragon's egg. Obviously, the actual hill fort part of it that is on the dragon's head is that's not as big as Maiden Castle. It's a lot smaller, but as an entire piece of like landscape that forms a dragon, it's bigger than Maiden Castle, right? And you can see it from space, really, right? So, but that's at the start of one of the edges of the cross, and the other side of the cross, right, which is where we see now on the border of Wales, right, which is Wroxeter, right? Shrewsbury, Wroxeter, right? That is on the Welsh border. So if you think of a Welsh flag, the dragon for Wales and the dragon, that's the 2 points of Fosse Way and Watling Street on the left-hand side, right? Now the crazy thing is the dragon, right? The dragon has got his hand up like that, okay? Now, some people think of it as, stopping them coming into Wales, because Wales, retains its language and retains its border or whatever in country, right? And then you've got this long, sharp tongue thing, right? So the Welsh flag. So, but it's, if you think, so what we're saying, it's King's Hand, Salde Grid. King's Hand, Salde Grid. So, and the dragon is the hill fort, which is at this bottom part here, right? I've drawn it a little bit further, actually. It didn't quite go that far. In fact, I stopped drawing, you can see there, but I drew another line there, but it's... So that is the dragon and the actual real dragon fort, but also the border of Wales, right? The other sides of this, obviously, at Canterbury, you see, Archbishop of Canterbury, canter is to ride on a horse. What? But, you know, and London is where that black and white line cross kind of there. That's meant to be, these are meant to be the free ways that are, like, meant to be, like, you know, no brigands or thieves or highwaymen, or meant to be, like, supposed to have, like, free right of passage or whatever. Got the King's Peace. So it's like the flag on the flagpole. It's almost like the flag flying off the flagpole. But you'll say to me, what you'll say to me is, well, the flag for England is St. George, just the Red Cross. But what Cambrian Chronicles was telling us, he was saying that he found out that actually the dragon flag was flown by English kings way back, right? Now, the thing is that so they adopted the red cross on the white, the St. George's flag. It's that flag is more to do with the Crusades, right? Now, I always associate it with the poppy because it's got the sign that is like what grows on the poppy, and we know there's a lot to do with like the Crusades in the Middle East and Christianity. It's more or less a Christianity flag, really. But if you think of the dragon, it's actually hill fort, actually on the border of Wales, the other main roads of travel, and the King's Sandal grid, right? Now, the thing is, therefore, and then you've got the Scottish flag, the St. Andrew's flag, which is the cross with a blue background. Now, the ironic thing is that, firstly, the place where these roads are, right? Ironically, the shape of this particular cross that it makes, right? Which is meant to be, you know, that's the part that's England, which is meant to currently have the straight cross, straight up and straight across. This is more the shape of the St. Andrews, but it's not in Scotland, is it? It's a diagonal cross, but it's not the places where the roads form this are not in Scotland or Ireland or Wales, right? But that flag, you see this? So if you see there, right, at the bottom, so that flag actually is, well, you're all right, yeah, the cross of St. Patrick, that's what I said earlier. Now, that was used for Northern Ireland, right? But for actually Ireland, they use this triple crown. And they also were using the harp, but they used the Union Jack logo with the harp in the middle of it for a while. But the Northern Ireland, what was part of England, Great Britain, what was that diagonal cross. So that's connected to these ancient passage routes which go all the way back before the Roman conquest, before Christianity. And in fact, if you think of, you know, all the roads through mainland Europe and Gaul or Rome, the Roman roads, you know, obviously that's how would you get to, you know, the Middle East or anywhere. So, in fact, this current flag of Ireland, right, was only adopted from the 1937 officially. They started using it in 1916, officially 1937. So that's not even that old, really. When they were using in the 15, so they were using this Triple Crown logo in the 1500s for Ireland and the harp. In the 1800s, they were using this cross of St. Patrick. But that's always been St. Patrick's cross. Now, St. Patrick was meant to be the patron saint of Ireland. Now, if he was a patron saint of Ireland, his flag is actually kind of like, going across to Ireland, possibly using these routes. But it was meant to be, I think Cambrian Chronicles said originating possibly in Wales or something. But this is like all of the ideologies behind all of the flags. The dragon and all the different crosses. But then also you've got, to do with routes and travel. You end up, traveling to, when you go on crusades in the Middle East. So, possibly even supplying trade. You've got that old silk. You've got the Silk Road and the rest of it, and the trading supplies and so forth. So this is no coincidence. It's no coincidence that even the Irwin Street and the Watling Street is like the flagpole as well. It's a nice bit of symbology. But remember, all through the, if you go way back before the Crusades even, maybe even if we talk about from when the Romans pulled out, for 500 AD, up till William the Conqueror, or the Anglo-Saxon, in the very early medieval periods, you've got all these heraldry, chivalry, and you've got all the different flags that they had. But there's a lot more interesting and different flags. People had flags. This is the period, and then I think it was after William the Conqueror. Actually, even I might have to watch that video again that Cambrian Chronicles did, because I can't remember everything. He's done a lot of videos, but I need to throw this in because mainly because it's on one of my on one of the things that I've been one of the things that I'm on with now at the moment is like the fines in London. It's meant to be like free rite of passage. You're not meant to have any tolls in London, right? Because of this old Watling Street Way and Ermine Street, right? It passes through London. It's meant to be the whole route there because of this King's Hand Salde grid. And it ties in with the dragon. Now, if Cambrian Chronicles is saying that the king liked associating with Wales, but they have this dragon on the flag before the cross, right? Then if you use that flag and you travel these main routes with the King's Peace, then if it was a dragon with the hand up in front of it, we don't know if it was just a random dragon or if it was particularly a dragon with the hand up or not. But if the king used that flag and, it was for the country or for the heraldry for that, it would be something to do with, these particular main routes of travel and kind of like, this King's Hand, King's Peace, the King's Peace with the King's flag, right? So that's absolutely amazing with the connection from Wales and the border of Wales. Big man. So Wales, the border of Wales, and the actual dragon-shaped hill fort, which clearly was an actual tower. It could even be the original clan of Half Pendragon clan, because their symbol is a big dragon hill fort. And then you've also got at Uffington, they've got the white horse which is set into the hillside, which actually it's not a winged horse, but the star sign for Pegasus in the stars doesn't actually have wings on. It's just a horse. When you look at Pegasus, the star sign, it pretty much is similar to the Uffington white horse, and the wing part's just imagined. There's actually no star positions for the wings. It's just the main part of the horse. So, I mean, this starts tying into all your ancient sites and so forth, you know? And also, you know, like compasses and, you know, things like that. So, I mean, I thought I'd kind of like, I just wanted to make note of this before I forget to mention it, you know, because it ties into the ancient sites, all the ancient site stuff that I've been looking into, but also ties into all the finds and everything. So anyway, that's that. So I just thought I'd mention it. Um, I'll just tag Cambrian Chronicles in it, and maybe I don't know actually if I don't know if Howard Crowhurst knew about this or not either. So I'll mention it. I'll tag Howard Crowhurst in it as well.